Is Ferrari on the verge of a meltdown? What seemed like a dream pairing between Formula One's most iconic team and one of the most talented drivers on the grid, Charles Leclerc, is now showing deep, exposed cracks. And what if I told you a motorsport legend is already offering the Monegasque driver an escape route? The situation in Maranello is more tense than ever, with reports of furious engineers and a driver who seems to be becoming just a passenger in his own car. Today, we're going deep into this crisis that could reshape the future not only of Ferrari, but of the entire Formula One grid. And it doesn't stop there, because on the other side of the garage, Lewis Hamilton's adaptation is proving to be a much bigger challenge than anyone imagined, and a controversial figure from the paddock might be eyeing a top job at the Scuderia. Stick with us to the end to understand this entire chess match. Charles Leclerc's frustration with Ferrari is no longer a secret kept behind Maranello's closed doors. After the Singapore Grand Prix, where he finished a distant 6th, the Monegasque driver didn't mince words to describe the situation. While Mercedes, Ferrari's main rival in the fight for second in the Constructors, clinched its second win of the season, Leclerc watched the gap widen. The German team pulled 27 points clear, and Ferrari is still without a single victory this year and has been off the podium for the last 5 races. For a driver who dreams of a world title, this scenario is devastating. Unfortunately, we don't have the race car to fight with the guys in front, Leclerc vented to the media at the Marina Bay circuit. He went further, stating that rivals had all made steps forward, putting Mercedes, McLaren, and Red Bull on a higher level. And Ferrari? And then there's us, he said. This honesty, which many fans appreciate, seems to have not been well received within the team. The Italian press, always watching the Scuderia's every move, quickly reported on the unease. The Corriere dello Sport published that Leclerc's criticisms didn't sit well in Maranello, stating that, among the engineers themselves, there are those who are angry with Leclerc for his uncompromising criticism of the car and how it is managed. The Gazzetta dello Sport painted an even grimmer picture, saying the driver's comments paint a discouraging picture of the entire Maranello environment and that relations between the various departments of the team are strained. The situation is so delicate that Leclerc's manager, Nicolas Tot, has already sent a clear warning. If Ferrari doesn't show a notable change in fortune with the new regulations, he will start looking at options for 2027. He's not a kid anymore. We need a winning car, Tot stated. And it's in this climate of uncertainty that offers begin to appear. Mario Andretti, the 1978 world champion and a key figure in the Cadillac team project, made his desire clear. "I'm a big fan of Leclerc, and if he ever wanted to change teams, I'd take him on at Cadillac right away," Andretti said. He believes Leclerc has the talent to be a champion, he just needs the right car. However, he himself admits, we need a couple of years, we have to earn such a talent. The offer may not be for right now, but the message has been sent. Leclerc has admirers willing to build a project around him. The big question is, how long will the Monegasque driver's patience with Ferrari last? Breaking down these paddock dynamics is what we do here at Formula News USA. If you, like us, are passionate about analyzing every detail and aren't satisfied with just the surface-level news, then do us a huge favor, hit that subscribe button and leave a like. Since this channel is a passion project and isn't monetized, every subscription and like is the single most effective way to support us. It tells the YouTube algorithm that we're creating content F1 fans want to see, which is crucial for helping us grow this community. And so we can see how far our analysis is reaching, let us know what city you're watching from in the comments below. And if you're really enjoying this breakdown, hit that hype button. It gives the video an incredible boost and helps us continue bringing you this in-depth content. While Charles Leclerc's relationship with Ferrari seems to be fraying with each race, on the other side of the garage, Lewis Hamilton's situation is also far from ideal. The 7-time world champion's arrival in Maranello was celebrated as the move that could finally bring the Scuderia back to the top. However, the reality of the 2025 season has been a rude awakening. Hamilton, a driver known for extracting the maximum from any car, is still chasing his first podium in red overalls, and, more importantly, is struggling to feel at one with the SF25. And if you think this is just an adjustment phase, two-time world champion Mika Häkkinen offers a perspective that might be frightening for the Tifosi. According to the Finn, patience will be the greatest virtue Hamilton will need, because the process of molding a car to fit a driver's style can take, on average, 4 to 5 years. Yes, you heard that right, 4 to 5 years. This statement from Häkkinen puts into perspective the difficulties Hamilton has voiced throughout the year. Since the Bahrain Grand Prix, the Brit has described the SF25 as feeling alien. Sometimes I think we all, as drivers, get stuck in our ways, very stuck. I need to keep driving the way I've been driving, just make the car come to me a bit, and that's not working, Hamilton admitted back in April. The need to adjust his own style to a car that doesn't respond as he expects has been a constant theme. Even in September, after the Italian Grand Prix, his tune was the same. I'm still not 100% comfortable with the car. This lack of fine-tuned synergy is critical in modern Formula One, where the difference between success and failure lies in the subtlest details of the driver-machine interaction. Häkkinen's analysis goes beyond just the adaptation time. He points out that the major regulation changes planned for 2026 could complicate this process even further. With new rules for the chassis and engines, the cars will become lighter, feature active aerodynamics, and see a significant increase in electrical power. This will require drivers to change their skill sets and focus even harder just to keep the cars on track. The teams which have good designers who are able to build a great car, they're going to do well. Teams who are not so experienced will have a lot of problems, Häkkinen warns. The question hanging in the air is, will Ferrari be one of those teams? For Hamilton, who signed a multi-year deal, reportedly until the end of 2026 with an option for one more, the clock is ticking. He doesn't have another 4 or 5 years to wait. The gamble on Maranello was to chase an 8th title, but according to Häkkinen's view, that journey could be much longer and more arduous than Hamilton himself ever imagined. Ferrari must deliver a competitive car under the new regulations, otherwise the legendary champion stint with the Italian team could end in massive frustration for both sides. With both drivers facing their own dilemmas, the pressure on Ferrari's leadership is only mounting. And it's in this Maranello pressure cooker that a heavy hitter, freshly on the market, has become the subject of speculation: Christian Horner. The Brit's departure from Red Bull, after 2 decades of a command that delivered 8 drivers and 6 constructors' championships, shocked the Formula One world. Now the question everyone is asking is, what's Horner's next move? And, inevitably, rumors are pointing toward the most famous team of all. Reports have suggested that Ferrari chairman John Elkann is regretting his decision to extend Frederic Vasseur's contract, and that Horner could be the man to take full control. The idea of having one of the most successful minds of the modern era leading the Scuderia certainly captures the imagination of any fan. However, when we take a closer look at the facts, this possibility seems more like a distant dream than a realistic negotiation. First, let's understand Horner's exit from Red Bull. Sources indicate the core issue was a power struggle over control. Horner wanted to maintain the team's autonomy in Milton Keynes, while Red Bull's top brass in Austria, led by Oliver Mintzlaff and Helmut Marko, wanted greater oversight. Mintzlaff won that battle, and Horner was out. Now, why would he accept a role at Ferrari, a historically centralized organization where the team principal is often seen as a figurehead rather than the ultimate authority? Historically, the command in Maranello answers directly to the company's chairman, a structure vastly different from the one Horner built for himself at Red Bull. Beyond the issue of control, there's the financial and ownership factor. It's understood that Horner isn't just looking for a return as a team principal. He wants more. He's seeking an equity stake, a position as an owner or partner, something that would give him decision-making power and long-term security. That is highly unlikely to happen at Ferrari. The Scuderia is predominantly a publicly traded company, with the remainder split between Exor, the Agnelli family's holding company, and Piero Ferrari. The chance of them selling off a piece of the company to Horner is virtually zero. Vasseur's recent 3-year contract extension is also a clear signal that, for now, Ferrari has reaffirmed its faith in the Frenchman. Therefore, the combination of Horner's need for control and equity and Ferrari's rigid corporate structure seems like an impossible fit. The speculation is exciting, but the business reality makes this one of the most improbable moves in the paddock right now. And while Ferrari deals with its own ghosts and the team principal market buzzes with Horner's name, the paddock, as always, finds a new story to stir the pot. The latest one involves one of the grid's most promising talents, Oscar Piastri, and alleged interest from Ferrari. This speculation comes at a delicate time for McLaren, especially after the visible tension between its drivers at the Singapore Grand Prix, where Lando Norris hit Piastri on the opening lap, breaking what the Australian understood to be the team's rules of engagement. Piastri's audible frustration on the radio was the trigger for rumors of a potential move to start circulating. But does it make sense for a rising star in a growing team to consider a move to the instability of Maranello? Well, for former McLaren driver Juan Pablo Montoya, the story is very different and far more strategic. He raises a classic F1 power play hypothesis. What if this is all a deliberate tactic by a rival team to destabilize McLaren? The big question there is if it's just people stirring the pot, making stories up, Montoya said. At the end of the day, it's a great way of stirring the pot and causing problems for McLaren. He goes even further and points to a potential source of the maneuver, Red Bull. The story about Piastri and Ferrari could be coming from Red Bull, for example. Somebody at Red Bull could be going, "This would be a great leak just to stir up the pot and destabilize McLaren." This tactic isn't new. Montoya compares the situation to what Toto Wolff did with Max Verstappen in the past, generating headlines and putting pressure on Red Bull, even if the chances of a transfer were minimal. Montoya also offers a second perspective. The rumor, even if false, could serve as a tool for Piastri and his own management team. It could be a subtle way of sending a message to McLaren, something along the lines of, "If you want me, you've got to respect me and give me the status I deserve." It's a way to gain political leverage within the team by showing there are other valuable options on the market. In the end, Montoya's analysis exposes the complexity of the Formula One environment, where battles are fought on the track as well as in the headlines and behind the scenes. He advises his former team to let their drivers race from now on, since the Constructors' Championship is decided, but always with mutual respect. Race hard, but race with respect, he concludes. As you can see, the season might be winding down, but the Formula One backstage never sleeps. Internal crises, difficult adaptations, power plays, and planted rumors, it's all part of the sport we love so much. If you made it this far and enjoyed this complete deep dive, now is the time to support our work. Hit that like button, and most importantly, subscribe to Formula News USA so you never miss another breakdown. Since this channel is a passion project and not monetized, every single subscription and comment directly helps us grow and reach more F1 fans. Let us know in the comments below. Which of these scenarios seems most likely to you? Leclerc's exit, Hamilton's long wait, Horner's return, or this Red Bull tactic? We want to hear your opinion. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.